the Cricky Boys Shootout. It's one of Australian sprint car racing's major events. Held each year at the Quit-Bunbury Speedway in Western Australia, it's a race high in emotion and the stakes are high. Race fans come from all over for what has become an international speedway festival. Tonight, we present exclusive coverage of the 2014 event as Australia's best sprint car drivers take on the might of the USA. There's the likes of Brooke Tatnell, Robbie Farr, Max Dumsney and Kerry Madsen banging wheels with Tim Kading, Shane Stewart and Cody Kinzer. Plus we profile 2014 World Series Sprint Cars champion Stephen Lyons. Our coverage supported by Quit. On Speed, you're watching the 19th season of Checkered Flag, presented proudly by Valvoline SynPower, providing the ultimate in protection and performance. Good to have your company. What a program coming your way today on the Speed Channel. Welcome everyone to Bunbury in Western Australia. Sultry conditions, fine but slightly overcast, bit of scattered cloud around for night 2 of the 2014 Cricky Boys Shootout, brought to you by Quit from the Quit-Bunbury Speedway. Beside me in commentary, as is always the case, Sammy Walsh. Good evening as we look at the track facts.
Good evening, David. Yeah, great to be here. It's a prestigious race here on the West Coast and throughout the world.
Also joining us tonight in commentary, as is always the case for sprint car events, Warren Ferguson.
Yeah, thanks, David. Magnificent to be here. This is a great field of cars here tonight. Really looking forward to seeing this race.
There's the points at the completion of night 1. Brooke Tatnell, multiple World Series Sprint Cars champion on top. And without any further ado, let's head down to Charmaine on the infield.
Thanks, David. I'm standing here with the sprint car legend himself, the Bunbury Bullet, and great family friend of ours, Ron Cricky. Ron, we're here tonight for the annual Cricky Boys event. Explain to us the evolution of this race.
Well, we're 17 years in now, so obviously the evolution come from when we lost our boys in a road accident all those years ago. Unfortunate thing, but as life's gone on, we've had this race come on and gets bigger and bigger by the year. You can tell by the crowd. We've got a good crowd in the house tonight and 17th running, so let's hope it's a big one. And as I say, with the evolution, it started off as a one-night event. And this has been pushed out to a 2-night event for the last probably 7 years now. So it's actually 3 nights. We started down the Barbados, one of our sponsors down there. We had a few drinks before the event's on. And no, counting back, that's exactly what we do.
Where would you like to see the Cricky Boys event in, say, 5-10 years' time?
Wow. Will I still be doing this in 5 or 10 years?
Of course you will.
5 or 10 years. Well, you'd probably be very difficult to go from a 2-night deal to a 3-night event, which probably wouldn't suit a lot of people that travel. So we'll probably have to keep it crammed into a 2-night show, have some different little things thrown in there. That always makes it a bit of fun. So I think we're sitting number 3 in Australia in the events, second to the Warrnambool Classic and the national title. So we're comfortable with that at the moment, but we'll reach for the stars as it comes on.
Does it make you proud that drivers from not only Australia but all over the world make their way over for the Cricky Boys event?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, so it's a pretty big race. So, for these guys to come to this event, and most of those guys that travel know what the event's about. So, they're here for I believe their racing career, which means something to win the Cricky Boys race, and respect for the family and the Speedway community, which all come along to this show. It means a lot to everybody.
Always good to catch up with Ron Cricky, one of the major driving forces here at the Quit-Bunbury Speedway. Healthy crowd in fact, that is an understatement. It has become one of National Speedway Racing's really big festivals of speed. The annual Cricky Boys Shootout. Race cars on the circuit now for heat number 1 on night 2. It's a stellar lineup as we now check the grid for Quit, Brooke Tatnell and Dylan Jenkin, Stephen Lyons, Daniel Pesca, David Priolo, Matt Eagle, and the legend Max Dumsney in the Valvoline entry, starting at the back of the pack in the familiar V5 car. I alluded to the layout of this circuit earlier. Big, wide, flat and fast. So Tatnall, who's enjoyed great success here previously, starts up front and he's absolutely blasted away as the lights turn to green. Stephen Lyons quickly into second spot, the newly crowned World Series Sprint Cars champion, as they head towards the back end of lap number 1. We ride on board with David Priolo.
Yeah, Lyons had a great jump there, Sammy. He made sure that Jenkins there wasn't able to close the line out heading into turn 1 and got himself into second place. Yeah,
certainly positioned his car right on the inside of Jenkins there, so he couldn't do so, but it all allowed Brooke to get a great jump and get a really good lead on him right away.
Tatnall in the Quickie Motorsport entry has checked out down the back straight, leading by, I'd suggest, a little more than 100 metres in advance of his nearest rival, Stephen Lyons. Across the line, lap 4 of 10. And again, we check out the action from David Priolo's perspective. Good on-board shot.
Yeah, Priolo trying to work what it looks like, chasing the moisture maybe a little bit higher than, say, Max Dumsney is doing behind him, trying to run around the gutter of the racetrack to find some grip.
Race update at mid-distance. Tatnall, Lyons, Jenkins, Eagle and Priolo. So Eagle, he's the flyer at the moment. He started from P6 and has certainly passed cars as we take the fence cam and look at Brooke Tatnall. Anything in this country worth winning in sprint car racing, he's won it 6 or 7 times, Sammy.
Yeah, certainly. Brooks obviously one of the most dominant competitors we've had and most successful overseas as well. So he's got a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, you just look at Brooke as he comes through 3 and 4 there. He's looking incredibly smooth on this racetrack. Looks like he's pulled the wing back a little bit, give the car a little bit more grip in the corners and down the straights, and he's setting sail right now.
Of course, Dylan Jenkins that started on the front row with him, as again we ride with Priolo. Jenkins back contesting the entire World Series campaign this season. So he's raced the length and breadth of Australia. After taking really a season off last year, his wife had a child, and not far to go in this one now, with Tatnall across the start-finish line to negotiate his final lap at the Quit Bunbury Speedway. He heads for home.
Yeah, Brooks been picture perfect in this one. He's very smooth up front, just following that little cushion there, and he's going to get this win with ease.
Oh, does he ever? Wins by a quarter of a lap. That is dominant in anyone's words as we check the results for GWN 7. Tatnall, Lyons, Jenkins, Eagle and Priolo. Dave Priolo, one of Western Australia's top drivers, finishing in 5th. He started from P5. So that would indicate just how competitive that race was. Here now is the winner.
Well done on your win. Tell us what the track's like out there tonight, Brooke.
Well, it's totally opposite to last night. It's looking off, so which will actually be good.
It looks fast.
It's still fast right now. The slicker it gets, the slower it's going to get, and that's going to allow you to see more dicing and a lot more passing. So let's hope it keeps going that way. And we've got a lot more to go. We've got the shootout next, and then it's still the A main to go.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Brooke Tatnall, what a stellar career. The second-generation star, always good to see him back in Australia. He can polarise opinion on occasions, Brooke, but goodness me, how much talent does he have? MMS Civil bringing you the action in Heat 2 on Night 2. Madsen Loudon, Dylan Kinser the American, Green Lancaster Pride, and Jake Beard Miller. This will be a good contest. Kerry Madsen, of course, Australia's representative full-time on the World of Outlaws Trail, driving for Bob Gavin Rich, the Kendrick Motorsport team, and he continues to chip away, does a tremendous job abroad, Kerry. As we now get set for a start in Heat 2. Loudon for Pete Motorsport on the outside of the front row. And Madsen in the familiar number 29. Got away nicely. Gee, Loudon made up some ground there, didn't he? Midway through turns 1 and 2. It looked like Kerry was going to check out, but Loudon is fast. In fact, he serves it up to him. On the inside, the Sydney sider takes the lead.
Yeah, Loudon found a lot of speed through the middle of the racetrack there, not trying to execute the cushion like Kerry was, and Kerry got caught up in the marbles.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Sam. I mean, Loudon sat back on the start almost as if he wasn't anticipating a start on that first run, but can't take anything away from him for that pass. That pass was fantastic.
Of course, Ian Loudon, multiple winner of the Sydney Speedway Track Championship. He's under siege now from Kerry Madsen. And, well, Ian's biggest career win to date, the Grand Annual Classic at Warrnambool a few seasons ago. And, look, you boys have raced thousands of laps against him. He's pretty tough.
Yeah, certainly one of the toughest guys we've probably had out of the East Coast scene for a long time. It's just a pity he probably doesn't get to race as much as he used to, but he can run with the best guys as we're seeing right now. Kerry's no mean, he's no slouch, and there's a reason why he's on the outdoors full time.
Absolutely. I mean, having spent some time working with Kerry and racing with both Kerry and Ian, one thing I've got to say is Ian's probably one of the cleanest racers out on the circuit, and when you consider how tough and rough and tumble sprint car racing can be, I think it's quite a challenge to be that clean.
So Loudon then, down the main straight. Got a fairly handy lead over Madsen, but we know how good Kerry is. He'll stay with him. And should Loudon make a mistake, which is unlikely, I might add, Madsen will pounce as they run back onto the main straight here in heat number 2, night 2 of the Quit-sponsored Cricky Boys Shootout at the Quit Bunbury Speedway, on board with Kerry Madsen in second position.
You can see Kerry just changing his lineup a little bit there, searching around the racetrack to find something for Ian. He was coming in a little bit higher and then dropping it down to the bottom and trying to get a run, getting off just then. He come in a bit lower, and you can see both these guys have pulled their wing back. Kerry's a little bit further, but not able to catch Loudon at this point.
Last lap, I should mention, Luke Dillon out of camera shot is in third position. Trevor Green is next, followed by Cody Kinzer. Last lap now, Ian Loudon. Good job. When you consider that Madsen blasted off the start, Loudon came from the clouds, took the lead and takes the win. Checkered flag for Ian Loudon in heat 2 for Harcourts. And Madsen was next, then Dillon. And the way I described them a lap from home is the way the top 5 finished in heat race number 2. So good stuff, a confidence-building win for Ian Loudon.
Yeah, it's great for him. He's had a pretty good run this year, and running for the Pete Motorsports team, I'm sure they're building confidence and getting better with every race.
Yeah, Shannon Pete at the helm of this team. And our pit reporter, Charmaine Kendrick, is in position right now.
Ian, you fought hard to keep that race win from Kerry Madsen then. Good job.
Yeah, thanks. I thought that start was touch and go. I thought they'd bring it back, but got the back straight and the lights didn't come on. So thankfully he made a mistake going into 3 and we could capitalise on it. So I seen him there at one point coming back on the inside of us out of 2. So we're a little loose off there, but hopefully we can work at it, and that's as good as we can do in our heat, so we can go from here.
Good luck for the next one.
Thanks, Charlie.
Ian Loudon, I guess you could describe him as an introvert. Loves to do his talking with his right foot. Of course, the Dillon team, the Diamond Bay Motorsport team, they are having issues, as you can see. Let's head down to Charmaine.
Thanks, David. We have Luke Dillon's team standing behind us, or all working very hard. They're too busy to talk right now, but we'll find out what's going on a little bit later and let you know what's happening.
Yes, we'll come back to you shortly, Charmaine, when we can find out what's happening there. Meanwhile, here's a feature on Stephen Lyons. Mount Gambia's Stephen Lyons has emerged as one of Australia's premier sprint car drivers. In fact, most experts regard him as being among the top 3 in Australia in the current era. And indeed, his race record adequately reflects his lofty status in the sport. Earlier this year, Lyons took out arguably the sport's biggest prize when he stormed a victory in the World Series Sprint Cars Championship.
Yeah, obviously it means a lot. Means a lot to the team as well. Obviously to be competitive and consistent over them rounds, it means more than what it does on one night. So just really happy with our team and what we've been able to achieve.
You've had quite a successful season thus far. 11 victories, 21 top 5 finishes and 18 podiums altogether. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. It just shows we put in a lot of hard work last year and worked a lot of things over the off season just to make it right. And the team's come together and everyone's doing their bit, and it's paying off for us on the racetrack. So couldn't be happier.
Lyons, like so many of his fellow racing drivers, started his career in motorsport as a youngster. In his case, his first choice was on 2 wheels as a 10-year-old.
Yeah, it's amazing where you end up, but I suppose it started when I was about 10. I started racing motocross, and then a few of them guys were going out to race the juniors at Speedway, so we thought we'd give it a go just as a family deal, and did that. And and then after that we moved on to a street stock and a modified in between there, and before we knew it we were in a sprint car, and I think one thing led to another, and I was just lucky enough along the way for my family to back me and give us the equipment that we needed. And then when it really mattered, we had some good people. Dave Challenge and Cameron Neon Signs, a great one that picked us up and you know, it goes on, and like I said before, very, very privileged to be where we are.
Is it good to be back racing with your crew chief, Craig Bennett?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, he was one big hand that got me into sprint cars to start with, and helped me along the way, and then to, you know, reunite with him and sort of probably pay back a little bit what he's given to me over the time. You know, he gave me a lot in the early days, and to give him a few wins back and the whole team, it's just, yeah, it's great.
In recent seasons, Stephen Lyons has been driving for the ultra-professional Brian Hall-owned team, and it's a partnership that enjoyed immediate success.
Yeah, it just come about. We actually met over here in the Western Swing when I moved out of the old ride that I had with Monty Motorsports, and it all sort of just, you know, when all parted ways, it all fell into place for them and us, and it seemed to, you know, we made it work, and yeah, it's paid off. So I think everyone's happy up at this stage. So we'll just keep trying.
If he plays his cards right, the newly crowned World Series champion won't be relaxing during the traditional off-season. He and team owner Brian Hall are planning an assault on American soil.
Brian Hall's obviously given us, you know, the opportunity to maybe run over there. Nothing's in concrete, but we're definitely trying to work towards that. And if we're given the opportunity, you know, I think we'll all jump at it and do the best we can. But like I say, we haven't really planned what we want to do. We want to run, you know, around Knoxville area and all that, but it's not completely solid yet. So we'll just you know, it should sort itself out. We'll finish this bit of a swing here, and then we'll sit down and have a bit of a talk about it.
When you're not racing, what do you do for fun and what do you do for work?
Well, I am a welder by trade, but you know, over the last season or two, I've been working for Halls Motorsport in the off season, so it's worked out well. And so I've just been doing that. But as for fun, we have a lot of fun just going to play some golf and fishing and all the other stuff that you get along and do. So yeah, we do have a lot of fun.
You're watching the 19th season of Checkered Flag, proudly presented by Valvoline SynPower, delivering the ultimate motor oil protection and performance.
Good to have your company at Quit Bunbury Speedway. Let's head down to Charmaine.
I'm standing here with Daniel Harding. Now, Daniel, you just ran over on the East Coast with the World Series, competing in Speed Week and the Classic. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was really good. It was a good experience. We went to a whole lot of shows against some really good people, a lot of different tracks, managed through the whole World Series schedule, the Classic, President's Cup, and yeah, it's been great. Finishing up here with the Cricket Boys, it's a good result.
How has that been for your racing? Do you feel like you've improved by doing that?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot more confidence in the car. The whole team's working better now, and it's just experience and everyone just working out, they're trying to get ahead, and it's been really good.
What was it like running with like some of the top drivers in Australia?
Yeah, it's cool. You know, I had some races with Donnie and Shane and Brazier and all those sorts of names, and it's pretty cool. It's obviously it's a good experience, and it's pretty exciting as a newer driver. So just looking forward to doing it again next year.
Thank you. Good luck tonight.
No worries. Thank you.
Daniel Harding there, third generation Harding Speedway competitor. The sport runs rich in their veins. Farr, Mayolo, Stewart. Daniel lines up from P4 in this race, then Pigden, Scribb, Keenan, Dixon for furniture spot. Spot on for top value. Heat number 3, night 2 of the Quit Cricky Boys Shootout. As we count down with no little expectation to tonight's main event. It'll be a beauty, as it always is. That's the Robbie Farr East Coast Pipeline Racing Machine that we'll ride on board with in this particular heat.
Yeah, great view looking back, and Robbie's going to be out to impress in this one off the front row.
Wonderful competitor. His reputation precedes him. Good start on the outside by Mayolo. Can Farr stay with him? We saw Loudon in the previous heat. Good drive about mid-track off turn number 2. This time Mayolo a little too quick. He heads back down the main straight, already leading by 10 car lengths.
Yeah, the outside seems to have that little bit more moisture, and I think Robbie would have spun the wheels a little bit off the start there and had to drop into second.
Mayolo has the virtue of being racing here probably a bit more often than the guys behind him, so he has a little bit more experience on the racetrack, and he's used that to his advantage off the front.
Yeah, very true. Good point, Mayolo. A wonderfully dedicated racer. That car on screen is being driven by Oklahoma's Shane Stewart. As we approach mid-race distance in heat race number 3. And it is a drawn-out affair with Mayolo a clear-cut leader. We now look back at Robbie Farr.
Yeah, Farry's holding off Shane Stewart quite well here at the moment. It's probably got to be said that Shane Stewart and the Monty Motorsports team have had a below-par year by their own standards, but hopefully you can get a pretty good result tonight.
So Mayolo, Farr, Stewart, Harding. And that's the way the top 4 run at this juncture of the race. Crowd continuing to build in good conditions for the Cricky Boy Shootout of 2014. Riding on board with Robbie again. He's had his customary wonderful season. Consistency at the top level of this team and this driver is extraordinary.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's doing a great job with this East Coast Pipelines team. He's really come to the fore. And you can just see how smooth he was. This track's a little bit challenging at the moment. Slipped off on the inside. And Robbie's just nice and comfortable down the straight, nice and controlled into the corner. And it's interesting, the top 3 cars, we all know the equipment's equal. And they've spread out. It's almost like Aero is having a little bit of an advantage here, Sammy, where they need to get the air on the cars to keep the speed up.
Well, it's certainly a track where speed is quite high, so obviously the aerodynamics on the car is quite massive, and yeah, once they've got a bit of clean air, it obviously helps the car to handle the way the drivers want them to be. So Mayolo's doing a great job up the front, and he's not letting anybody get into his lead at all.
Jamie Mayolo would be relishing the opportunity to run against all of the nation's best drivers and some crack Americans here tonight too. And he's fired a warning shot for his rivals, winning heat race number 3 comfortably. Able to hold off the advances of former national champion and former World Series champion Robbie Farr. Next across the line, Stewart, followed by Harding and Kai Scrip for the West Australian Regional Newspapers Group. We look at those results. Glorious sunset in the background at the Quit Bunbury Speedway. And Jamie Mayolo, well, we know what a pro he is. Cool, calm character, would not be fazed remotely by coming up against the likes of Farr and Stewart, to name just a couple of them. And out of the car, Charmaine moving in a position to chat to the winner of Heat Race 3.
Jamie, the crowd went wild for that heat win. This is your home track.
Yeah, I mean, home track, a lot of loyal supporters here, a lot of our sponsors here from Bunbury, so it's good to get the heat win on this night too, and get us right up. We're 7th last night after qualifying, so hopefully that'll put us right up there in the mix for the A-Main.
What would it mean to you to win the Cricky Boys race?
Oh, I mean, just be unbelievable, you know, growing up with them guys and working on race cars, and other kids were doing homework after school. I was over the race shed with the boys, you know, so it'd be unbelievable, but yeah, long way to go yet tonight. We just keep working and keep trying to go forward.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great to have you with us at the Quit Bunbury Speedway. Another blockbusting episode of Checkered Flag. This is the final heat race of the weekend. The American star Tim Kading on pole. Cameron Gessner, Sean Bradford, Brad Mayolo, Lee Nash, Jordan Brazier, Callum Williamson and Brodie Minchin rounding out this 8-car field. Big rap to Valvoline SynPower for making it possible here on Checkered Flag every week. So Kading, one of the world's best sprint car peddlers, will start on pole here. It's a massive challenge for Cameron Gessner, but Gessner has stood up from the get-go, got a tremendous start, but Kading came back underneath him. Now we see Gessner sizing him up for the slide job, couldn't quite do it.
That outside definitely working better off the start, but you see Kading went a little bit lower in the corner and picked up that bit of moisture right around the very pole line, and that's how he was able to get back around Gessner.
The outside being the line to use at the moment. Everybody's out there wearing it out and pushing that high side line higher and higher up the racetrack, which in turn generally, as time goes on, the inside line will become faster because the top becomes such a long way around. But I'll tell you who's going great here is Jordan Brazier in the W95 car, running up through the field like a man on a mission.
Yep, Brazier, a fine emerging talent. Another third-generation racer. There's no shortage of them in this sport. There's young Jordan now in the Capalaba Wreckers car. Of course, that organisation has had an association with Brazier Motorsport for a couple of decades now, I guess. Kading, American professional who does it several times a week, 9 months of the year in the States to put food on the table. A racer's racer.
Yeah, Kading's certainly showing us that right at the moment, just as we see Brody mention spins out on this on the treacherous slick track.
Auto Pro Margaret River entry, car number 22. No major harm done. Didn't come into contact with anybody or anything. So the American Tim Kading will get us back underway here. Opportunity for Gessner to close the gap if he's good enough. I think Gessner's biggest concern here will be Jordan Brazier, who's not that far away in third position.
No, I think Kading's pretty safe out there in the front. He's been very clean the whole way up until this point of the heat race anyway. Gessner's definitely not got much for him at this point. But, yeah, Brazier's certainly looking threatening to Gessner for the second spot.
So they're spread out here. Gessner, all we know, his race record since moving to Western Australia, he's become one of the real heavy hitters in the sprint car scene on this side of the country. It gives you an example of just how good the man out in front is. Tim Kading back down the main straight, lap 8 of 10 in the second Cricky Motorsport entry. Going to be a nightmare for us commentators come main event time with he and Brooke starting up front in the pack. Identical looking cars, both number 2. Obviously a very small USA adorns the side of that car.
Yeah, very tough. I mean, both guys are going to be running up the front, you would think, and they both look very good in their heat races. So yeah, it's going to be very hard to call, but especially if they get to racing with each other.
Indeed, down the main straight, last lap now, and Tim Kading started this race on pole. Gessner did his best to stay with him early in the event, but wasn't able to do so. So Kading emerging a comfortable winner, dominant in fact, across the line at the Quit Bunbury Speedway. Final heat race of the weekend. Now for the Southwestern Times, we recap the results. Kading, Gessner, Brazier, Mayolo, and Sean Bradford rounding out the top 5. Sean actually starting from position 3. He'll be disappointed with that, slipping back a couple of spots. He's had a pretty fair season, has Sean Bradford. So there's the winning car, the Toyota Parts and Accessories Cricky Motorsport car, returning to its pit area. And look forward to hearing what Tim Kading has to say in the aftermath of that victory. Let's cross down.
Tim, congratulations. You won the preliminary last night. Do you think you can do it again tonight?
You know, it's going to be hard work. Hopefully we put these two number 2 cars on the front row, and Brooks fast here, so he's been racing a little bit longer this winter than I have, but you know, I got faith in this KMS team. You know, we got 2 fast hot rods right now, and you never know. It's 35-40 lap feature, and we'll see where we end up at the end of the finish.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, on tonight's highlights package of the 2014 Cricky Boys Shootout, time constraints don't allow us to show you every event. The mid-pack dash was staged. It was won by Sean Bradford and Shane Stewart in advance of Daniel Pesca. There is Sean Bradford. In the meantime, let's head back to Charmaine, who's got more on Luke Dillon's night.
Thanks, David. I'm standing here with Luke Dillon. Now, Luke, you were having a few motor problems before. Just explain to us what was going on.
Yeah, we've had a miss in the motor all weekend. We changed a lot of things chasing it, mostly ignition, but a few fuel things as well. So, you know, in the end, we still couldn't find the miss, and with the top 10 shootout coming out, you know, without my full motor, I wouldn't be able to do any good. So we changed the motor and just made it in for the dash.
You're in the top 4 starting in the feature race. What's your plan of attack for tonight? Because you can win this.
Yeah, I just, you know, run the cushion, try and keep my speed up, try and pass the lap cars the best I can, pass the 3 in front of me and win the race, really.
Well, have fun and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's certainly not beyond him. Luke Dillon can win tonight. The B-Main also staged a short time ago. It was taken out by Trent Pigden over Lee Nash and Ryan Lancaster. Let's head down to Charmaine now, who's with Kerry Madsen.
Kerry, congratulations. You're starting off pole. It's important to start off pole in any feature race, but this is a 35 lapper. What's your plan of attack to win?
I'm just going to try and push as hard as I can. Obviously, we're going to run into some lap traffic, hopefully gauge a feel for the track where the groove is, and just try and push hard. I mean, we've got some excellent competition behind us, so can't really lollygag too long. But the guys have got the car working great, and we've definitely got an excellent run coming up for the A-Main.
What sort of mentality do you have going into a race like this, and what does it mean to you, the Cricket boys?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, anyone with any WA connection, this is a big race, one of the biggest races of the year, so really important to do well for everyone involved. The track's such a mixed bag every year that it probably takes different strategies, but Ron's got the track in great condition tonight, so we'll just try and push hard. We're going to have to...
It was a bit different last night.
Yeah. But the track's going to slow down at the end, so we're going to have to go with sort of a tightish setup to have something for the end, but we can't get too aggressive early because we won't have the speed and we might lose track position. So a bit of a gamble, but I don't know, we'll make a guess, and I think hopefully we're good enough.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Is he good enough? Is he what? Kerry Madsen here tonight on a mission to win the 2014 Cricket Boys Shootout. He'll start on the front row in tonight's main event with a man he's had many battles with over the years, and Charmaine is now with him.
Brooke, you're starting off pole next to Kerry Madsen. What's your plan of attack for tonight's feature race?
Look, it's just one of those deals. They're only 35 laps. There's not a lot of tactical plays that you can make on a racetrack that's this fast. You just go out there and, you got to conserve your tyre, but Kerry's a guy that's going to be doing the same thing. So then you got TK here that's just hold it flat to the board. So you got to be a little bit smart, but it's sprint car racing. It's called that for one reason. It's a sprint race, and you got to hold it wide open and get to the front and try and win this thing.
Now, you just said you've never won this race before. What would it mean for you to win this race?
Oh, look, this is one of the primo races on our racing calendar, and I knew the boys a little bit. Not a lot to do with them, but to be driving the Cricket Motorsports family car, it's a big thing to the family. And I've been here 4 times. We've run a second, a third, and 2 DNFs with 2 destroyed race cars. So, look, I think tonight that means we've had 2 decent runs and 2 average runs. So tonight's a good one. We'll get the win.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're watching the 19th season of Checkered Flag, proudly presented by Valvoline Sin Power, delivering the ultimate motor oil protection and performance.
Indeed. Thank you to Valvoline. Thank you to you for watching. Massive crowd in the house at the Quit Bunbury Speedway. A very, very big event on the national calendar. We now get set for the 4-wide traditional Knoxville salute. Love this stuff.
Yeah, great to see the 4-wide and in front of a great crowd. This event has really got a great following and from right across the country too, so it's awesome to see.
It is a world-class field. Warren Ferguson, 35 laps the journey.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting long race. This track's going to be interesting the way it stands up. But, you look at the calibre of the field at this event. That just tells you what sort of standing the Crick Boys has these days.
Yeah, there's no question. Look at that. Tremendous atmosphere here. Well done to the team at Quit Bunbury Speedway. The likes of Ron Cricky, Andrew Roberts, and all of the various stakeholders. And once again, the fans voting with their feet at the turnstiles. It gets a massive amount of publicity, this race in southern Western Australia. And this will be an absolute beauty. The front row will be Madsen and Tatnell. You heard from both of them ahead of the commercial break preceding this event. They are on a mission. Listen, make no mistake, they've had battles on and off the track. They want to beat each other badly, Sammy.
Yeah, great rivals, and I mean, they've been going at it for a lot of years now, and I'm sure it won't let up anytime soon.
So let's check the grid for MMS Civil, Madsen and Tatnell. Then Kading and Dillon, Farr, Gessner, Loudon, Mayolo, Lyons and Dylan Jenkin out of P10 in the 51 car. Over the page for GWN7, it's Bradford, Stewart, Pesca, Kinzer, Harding, Mayolo, Green, Priolo, Pigden and Nash in the 46 car, starting out of position number 20 in tonight's event. Then Lancaster and Max Dumsney, who scraped in by virtue of his 4th placing in the B main. Max, a former multiple winner of this race, 2014 not going according to plan so far for the living legend of Australian Speedway racing. Lyons carrying an onboard here. And he starts about 4 rows back. So we look forward to the vision from that camera, providing an epic ride. In fact, he's inside of row 5 is Lyons. So Madsen and Tatnall sharing the front row. The track's been freshly prepped, and we're underway in the 2014 Cricky Boys Shootout. It is Madsen that goes to the front. He's been able to shake off the challenge of Tatnall at this very early stage of the race. Let's watch him as they exit turn number 4. Tim Kadinger is in third and now comes up to apply some pressure on his teammates.
You can see how much this track's been re-prepped with Brook front wheels up in the air, driving hard. There's a lot more traction out here than there was in the heat races. So these guys will be searching around a little bit to figure this track out right now.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take some time. Everybody's settling in. Obviously, when track prep does take place, it takes probably a few laps for a few guys to really settle in and find where the grip is at. But look, in a long 35 lapper like this, it's going to change while they're racing as well. So it's going to really pay off to the guys that search around.
Now riding on board with Stephen Lyons. So the order is Kerry Madsen in advance of Brooke Tatnall, Tim Kading. Luke Dillon runs in 4th position, but he's a fair way back from the lead. And speaking of the lead, the man up front, Kerry Madsen, already lapping slower cars. That is extraordinary. Just 5 laps into the race.
Yeah, Kerry certainly set sail here, and he's looking nice and smooth. He's not overdriving the car. He's keeping it on a rail, and that's a pretty good sign as far as I'd say for Kerry.
Glancing back through the field momentarily to see what's going on at the back. Meanwhile, Kerry Madsen continues to thread the eye of the needle, lapping slower cars with consummate ease. Again, a look from the back of Stephen Lyons' car, a little bit of fluid on that onboard lens. Still worth looking at, though. Gives you a great insight into the speed. And now the fence cam as they swoop through the top turns, corners 3 and 4.
Front 2 guys starting to eke away a little bit as they get through traffic, and this is the hard part for Madsen. When there's 2 lap cars running side by side in front of you, really blocks the racetrack, and you can't really advance and get away from the guy in second. And this is where Brooks got a really good chance. He's going to get to the inside, but not this time.
Yeah, typical of Tatnall. His strategy very clear. He saw all the lap traffic. Well, he's deep in it himself, and he needs to stay with the leader. You can see Madsen picked up a heap of drive there. The front wheels lifted off the ground. This is good stuff. Some of the world's best drivers strutting their stuff at the Quit-Bunbury Speedway. No change, still Tatnall second, followed by Kading and then Luke Dillon. But you're watching Kerry Madsen.
Madsen got a pretty good break there in traffic, and that's actually allowed, Brooke got caught up, and that's actually allowed Kading to get on the back of him. So, we're looking at the top 3 guys that are world-class drivers here.
On board with Lyons. Now a wide shot of Madsen. You can see that Brooke and Kading, the 2 Toyota genuine parts Cricky Motorsport cars, are very prominent in the race. We go orange, and Trent Pigden has shed the left rear on lap 11. One of the really good WA competitors. He heads to the infield, no choice about that. And from Brooke Tatnall and Kading's perspective, they'll be wrapped an opportunity to get back with Madsen. Let's head down to Charmaine with Trent Pigden.
So Trent, that's all right. Trent, you're going to stay in the car because if there's an open red on the next lap, these guys are kindly going to give you a spare tyre.
Yeah, let's just hope they have a red, and we'll get a harder tyre on it and see how we go anyway.
Awesome, good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
All right, so the battle set to continue here in the Cricky Boys Shootout for 2014. Who will it be? Only 10 laps of the 35-lap journey completed at this juncture. Kerry Madsen set sail for home. Brooke still in second, followed further back by the American Tim Kading in third. And they head back onto the main straight again, and Madsen has managed to open up a sizable lead. This time we ride on board with Robbie Farr.
Yeah, Robbie had a great start there and really put a hard pass on Luke Dillon in that first turn. Dillon had to sort of avoid him a little bit, but it's paid off for Robbie Farr at this point.
Yeah, Farr running 4th now. Dillon shuffled back to 5th on the racetrack, so they have spread out. The one thing we had prior to that incident with Trent Pigden was a lot of lap traffic in the way. It was fascinating to watch, and that was enabling Tatnall to continue his challenge on the leader. But right now, that has subsided somewhat.
Yeah, right at the moment, I think Madsen's looking pretty good, and I think he's got his car well dialed in for the track conditions. And I think it'll be tough to beat in open air, but if we do get to traffic, I think it could really play into the guys in the place-getting spots a bit of a chance to get to him.
So this dry, slick scenario, look, Kerry Madsen will eat it for breakfast. He races on it 4 times a week in the USA.
Yeah, he does, David, but, a lot of the other guys are getting a lot of experience, and here we are, we're back in lap traffic again, and Brooks got his nose up the inside. This slick track scenario now is a lot more common in Australia, and everybody's sharpened up. It's like it in the West, it's like it in the East, and you bring the Americans out, and I think that's one of the things that's made us, the Australian teams, not so far away from the Americans, or brought us closer to them, I should say, because we've got more experience on the tracks. We've got the same equipment.
Yeah, all fair comment, Warren. Concur with your thoughts. Kerry Madsen maintains his lead in the Cricky Boys shootout. Still a number of major sprint car events to come your way on Checkered Flag this season, as well as numerous national championship races. Some really good content coming up in the next couple of months right here on the Speed Channel as we ride on board with Robbie Farr in the East Coast Pipeline Racing entry. Running top 4 in the race, and now the wide shot as we watch Kerry Madsen continuing to circulate very quickly.
Yeah, as I said before, Madsen's looking really clean out front. The one thing Brooks got up his sleeve is if Kerry gets caught up on a lap car, it's going to give him a really good chance to get to him. But, the top's been pretty open for him on the last few occasions. But I think we've gone red here. Looks like
Amber.
Oh, sorry, Amber.
Yeah, amber lights just as the leader was about to put a lap on Trevor Green in the Natrad Radiators car, number 4. Meanwhile, you can see the issue on the infield and the reason for the stoppage. So they pack up single file formation again, nose to tail. Can Brooke go with our leader this time as they stand hard on the gas? Green light conditions again here in Bunbury. Gee, Madsen's looking the goods, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is. And Brooks trying lots of things on those restarts. He's altering his lines. He's trying to find a different way to get into that first turn. But Kerry's got that clean air up front and able to gas it away.
Again with Robbie Farr in action here in Bunbury. That's Luke Dillon immediately behind him in the Diamond Bay Motorsport entry. Dillon moves on the inside to effect a pass on Farr. Unsuccessful, however, as Madsen continues his pursuit of glory in the Cricky Boys and doing it comfortably. Brooke is second, Tim Kading is third, no change.
Now you can see those guys creeping up track there now. They're trying to find a bit more moisture and getting up closer and closer to the fence. The top 3 cars, though, seem to be the ones that have got it nailed.
Yeah, well, as we saw early in the heat races, I think going too high really slows you down because that outside stuff gets quite marbly and can be quite slippery. But, leaning just on the edge of that dark patch of dirt is really where you need to be.
Look out the back of this Stephen Lyons Hall's Motorsport entry as the battle continues here. A tick over 11 laps remaining in tonight's main event as Madsen continues to weave his magic on the clayway, and I can't see anyone stopping him tonight. He's got tremendous rhythm. He looks so smooth and he's relaxed in the car. He's not thrashing at the wheel, is he?
No, the car's very, very dialed and look very balanced. He's able to move across the racetrack from bottom to top and really utilise every inch of the racetrack to his advantage. So, and especially to pass cars, and that's where it's going to make the difference.
I think you're right there, Sammy. I mean, this onboard showing us with Stephen Lyons showing us how easily the cars get strung out, yet Kerry seems to be able to just keep moving around and passing cars with ease.
Now Brooke has made progress. Tatnall has moved a fair bit closer in the last couple of laps. Brooke, outstanding in-lap traffic, as we know. As the battle continues here, you can see there the Toyota Genuine Parts Cricky Motorsport car number 2 has moved a lot closer to the race leader. And we go orange, the Lee Nash car and also the Lancaster machine involved.
Yeah, I think Ryan Lancaster's been having a bit of a struggle from an earlier incident for some time in this race, so he's probably happy to see the other side of it.
All right, so can Brooke Tatnall produce something special here on Kerry Madsen? Kerry Madsen from St Mary's in Sydney's West has been absolutely wheel perfect throughout the 27 laps thus far. Car had a little push there, midway between turns 3 and 4. Oh, what about that for vision?
There was Keating there. Him and Robbie Farr were having a bit of a stoush there on that restart, pulling slide jobs at each end of the track. And you saw the after effect when he caught the rut. Here we are again on board. Stephen Lyons bangs the wall. Well, that doesn't look too healthy. Bits and pieces.
And over.
Upside down.
So the reigning World Series champion, he rode on board as it happened, upside down. So the race punctuated by a few stoppages, and the crash crew from the Quitbunbury Speedway on the scene. As we have another look at that, he clouts the concrete wall. The right rear disintegrates, and the rest is history.
I think he might have peeled the right front there. I think the bead lock has been torn away from the rim, peeled the tyre there, David, and not much you can do when you haven't got a right front holding the car up.
Yep, sucked him into the wall. We know how good a driver he is, Stephen Lyons. He's okay. So a mechanical issue has undoubtedly caused that accident. Let's find out more. Charmaine is with him.
Stephen, not such a great end to your night tonight.
No, definitely not. I just made a bit of a mistake because no one else's fault. I just clipped the wall there. It's like it's ripped the front tyre off it. So, yeah, I thought I was just going to bob along the wall there, and then it sort of gave way and flipped over. It was pretty light, but disappointing way to finish for Halls Motorsport. It's been a pretty good Western spring for us, so got to be happy with that, but not the way we want to finish tonight. But thanks for racing, and we'll come back next week.
Bad luck.
Thank you.
Yes, Stephen Lyons, he is human after all. I'll tell you what, we're in for an epic finale. You can see that Keating has moved back a couple of spots by virtue of that near miss we caught on the fence cam a while ago. Back underway, 6 to go. And it is Kerry Madsen in advance of Brooke Tatnell and Robbie Farr now.
If we get a run of yellow flags, I think Robbie Farr could really be the aggressor, as he always is. And he's always one to watch when it comes to restarts. But Tatnell's got a good run here on Madsen, and he's actually been getting good restarts, but Madsen's been good in clean air, so it's always allowed him to have a bit of a buffer.
Brooks altered his line tremendously here, guys. You see him starting to dive it in on the bottom and run it out, whereas before he was trying to roll the cushion where Kerry was. I think it's given him a little bit of an advantage at this part of the race.
Luke Dillon has overtaken Robbie Farr. Luke in third spot. Kerry Madsen in advance of Brooke Tatnell. Not far to go in the great race of 2014, the Cricky Boys shootout. Dillon third, Farr fourth. Farr is coming hard at him on the outside now. Meanwhile, though, you're looking at Brooke Tatnell in second spot in this race, and wow, Brooke into the wall on turn 4. Brooke Tatnell brings himself undone. Most unusual. I can only imagine he's had some mechanical issue.
Yeah, I think there's something there. You can see he couldn't get that car slowed down after he hooked the rut, and that's a little bit surprising.
Another look from a wider angle. And the Cricky Motorsport car barrels the wall and upside down. They're never nice incidents when you hit that concrete wall. It hurts. A sudden stop just about tears your insides out. And there's the car being towed away. A lot of damage. And Brooke will be bitterly disappointed. He was giving it everything.
Brooke, you gave that race absolutely everything. You must be gutted.
We didn't come here to run second. This race is a very special race, and we gave it all that we could. And as I say, about 10 or 15 laps in, we lost brakes. So we had no brakes, and that was part of the issue. You had to be very precise, and we caught the hole the wrong way, and it just stuffed us in the fence. So not the way we wanted to end the year.
Certainly not, but I'm sure the Cricky Boys, the Cricky team will have you back again.
Oh yeah, look, it's a great relationship that works for us all, and
she doesn't look very good.
No, it's just one of those deals. We don't tear up much equipment, and so the boys know we were going here, and as I said, we weren't coming here to run second. We gave it all we had, and sometimes that's the end result.
Better luck next time.
Thank you.
Okay, so bad luck for Brooke. Luke Dillon now up to second, then Robbie Farr, then Tim Keating. As we get set here and get them back underway, Bradford is next on the track. Just a few to go, so Luke Dillon gets his shot at glory now, but Kerry Madsen is going to need to throw it away. I just can't see anyone, A, catching him and B, passing him.
There is one thing going on here, David, though. The cars are starting to hook up on the bottom of the racetrack. There's a bit of rubber laid down, and Kerry being out in front for the whole race can't see that. He doesn't know that. He's going to need lap traffic in order to be able to see that. So it'll be interesting to see how these last few laps go.
With this shorter time left, he's probably lucky because the guys behind him really aren't making any inroads yet. It's definitely speeding up on the bottom, but I don't think quick enough.
Not far to go now. So Madsen in the 29 car, starting from pole position, has fended off all challenges thus far. Now on his final circulation of the Quit Bunbury Speedway, a class act, multiple winner of the Grand Annual Classic, former national champion, and Kerry Madsen wins the 2014 Cricky Boys and does so in sensational fashion. Runner-up Luke Dillon. Next, Robbie Farr. Tim Kading back in fourth. He'll be filthy with himself. And Ian Loudon in fifth position. We checked those race results for the Southwestern Times here in Bunbury. Well, entertaining enough race, made complex by the fact that the leading drivers got into lap traffic very early. As we now check the race recap, of course there was some attrition. We ended up with a number of cars on the infield, and a couple of them, gentlemen, were heavy hitters as we look back with the Valvoline SynPower race recap.
Yeah, Brooks' demise at the end of the race, and also Tim Kading falling back a few spots midway through due to the big battle with Robbie Farr.
I have to say though, Sammy, the Diamond Bay Motorsports Dillon team did a fantastic job to get up there in second as well. Those guys changed motors during the night and kept onto the car, and started coming after Kerry Madsen there right at the end. Yeah,
when you consider the night they had, it was a very meritorious end to their night. Pigden was the first high-profile casualty, if you like, that stopped the race. When they got going again, not a lot changed. It was still Kerry Madsen up front. He was, of course, being pursued by Brooke Tatnell throughout. We saw Tim Kading make a mistake, and he drifted back in the field. Then Lyons got into the wall, and his night ended in the Upside Down Club.
Yeah, got into the wall and tore the right front tyre off the rim, and I'm guessing usually you can bang along the wall and get away with it. He just got unlucky and flipped him over.
And then Brooke found himself in the concrete as well, and got the Cricky Motorsport number 2 car upside down. Upon the resumption of racing, there was just a few laps to go, and Kerry Madsen, too good in the end, taking a wonderful win. There are the top place getters in tonight's Quit Cricky Boys shootout. Well done to Ron and John Cricky, the Bunbury Car Club, Andrew Robertson, all stakeholders associated with this race. And before we go today, a reminder about speedway.com.au, the sport's newest website. It's going gangbusters. Irrespective of your favourite category, that is the place to go for all news and breaking stories. Speedway.com.au. A reminder about next week's episode of Checkered Flag. We return sprint car racing once more. It's the famous John Day tribute race being held at the Perth Motorplex. It's the penultimate sprint car event in the AHG series for season 2013-14. And you'll see it Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Time, right here on Checkered Flag. And our thanks to AHG. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3 for supporting that coverage. There's your winner of the Cricky Boys, Kerry Madsen. Outstanding drive. Thank you, gentlemen, for your contribution today.
Thanks, David. Great job to Kerry and the Cricky guys.
Thanks, David. Yeah, dominant performance by Kerry.
And we'll catch you on the next week's show, right here on the Speed Channel.
You've been watching Checkered Flag on Speed, proudly presented by Valvoline SynPower, delivering the ultimate motor oil protection and performance.